world becoming smaller thanks to globalization and thanks to the internet and thanks to the fact that a lot of people are willing to learn English, how on God's green earth are you supposed to sift through all of that and decide how to add new music for your congregation? There are many philosophies about this, but I think the way that I am about to present to you will be the most effective for both you, your team, and your congregation. What is up, Yoshis? My name is Beth and I run Steadfast, Ascent, and actually a couple Sundays ago we had a set that was comprised completely of songs that we had introduced within the past 3 months. That might not be the best practice, but we got a lot of positive feedback from the set. Honestly, Jesus was clearly on top of it because during the set, we kind of, went off into wherever he was going, and the whole room was just actually engaged and involved and actively worshiping with us. And if that isn't what you want as a worship leader, then find someone else to watch, because what I desire when I lead people towards Jesus is for us to go together. And I credit this Sunday with the fact that the way we have been introducing our songs meant that by the time we are ready to integrate them and start using newer songs as opposed to older songs, our congregation is totally ready. Remember that as a worship leader, you are here to serve your team, your pastor, and the congregation. Your primary service is to your team. Feel free to disagree with me on that. I'd love to know what you think and why you think that. I'm sure there's a lot of right ways to think about this. What order would you put those in? Like, what is the priority list for you and why is it that priority? But for me, what works is that I am primarily serving my team. I am choosing songs, first and foremost, that the team is going to resonate with. And even within that, I do sometimes prioritize our vocalists, because if our vocalists can lead us there, then the rest of the band can facilitate that and we can actually go in together. But honestly, I want it to be fun for the whole team. I want the drummer to feel like he's learning something new and that she's having a lot of fun playing it. I want my guitarist to feel like I can do so many cool things. I want my key players to be like, wow, I have some fun ideas. And this isn't just a, 4-chord song, but this is actually something that is engaging for me to play. Not so that I get distracted by the playing, but so that there is that element of interpersonal creativity happening so that it is an interesting song. You want to make sure, first and foremost, that your songs are doxologically in tune with your congregation. And that's honestly probably the hardest part about a globalized worship culture, is that it is globalized. And so what is globally accepted may or may not be orthodox or fit with your doxology. I mean, it's a difficult thing to say, but I do recommend finding houses of worship that really resonate with you and your doxology, paying a special attention to those houses of worship as sources for your new material. Coming out of a place of service and vetting every song through your doxology means that you are now in the place to start adding songs. A way that has really worked for our team is actually by introducing parts of the song in weeks prior using mashups. And then once you've gotten the team used to the song, once you've gotten the congregation open to the idea because you've introduced it in the context of something they're already familiar with, you can add the whole song. And then people are actually able to worship to this brand new song because it's actually not brand new to them. They've had bite-sized chunks of the song in the context of something they know, so that they're not leaving the worshipfulness when you are introducing it through a mashup style. And they're able to actually take in this new music much better because you're using it in this context, etc., etc. You guys are smart. I'm sure you figured it out. We don't add more than one new song a month, which honestly, I would add new songs all the time, but that's because I'm a musician and I listen to a lot of music. And because I listen to a lot of music, and this is the challenge that you have to keep, because you're serving your team, but you're also serving the congregation. And the congregation doesn't listen to the songs nearly as much as the team does, but the team would like to move on a lot faster than the congregation, and so you've got to find that balance, right? Of introducing enough new music to actually keep your team engaged, but not so much new music that your congregation feels left behind. Because while our worship as a service serves our team, our pastor, our congregation, worship is for Jesus. And honestly, I think Jesus is probably a lot more chill and casual about the whole thing than we are, and with all of our systems and all of our regulations and all of our limitations. His primary goal is for us to love our neighbors and to love him. And so in serving your team, your pastor, your congregation, you're actually showing a lot of love for Jesus. Ultimately, while this is all a bunch of great information, what you need to do is ask Jesus and follow the Holy Spirit and what he's leading you to and where he wants to take the congregation and your team and your pastor and where your pastor is going. And all of these things are known by Jesus. And Jesus, in your desire to serve your brothers and sisters and in your desire to love him, he's going to lead you in the right way. And you're going to be able to add music, and it's going to be beautiful, and this is how we do it. I'm glad that it works. I anticipate that we will continue doing this far, far off into our future. So how do you do it? I'd love to know, and I'd love to hear what ways that you find work really well, and what ways serve your team best, what ways serve your pastor best, and what ways serve your congregation best. And I'd love to hear all about it. And until next time, thank you for watching.